Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're actually going to work on drawing a figure. Okay, so I found this amazing video. Okay, Draw with Priyanka, and I just think it's phenomenal. All right. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna open up your sketchbook to a new page, and we're just gonna kind of go through this step by step. Now, you're probably going to notice that in this video, she does not talk at all, okay? So I'm just going to kind of narrate and give you guys some pointers on how you're going to draw this, all right? So on your paper, excuse me, on one side, you're going to follow along and you're going to put in the drawing. On the second side, on the slide, okay, there's going to be a couple of examples of different people and poses, all right? You are going to choose one of them, and then you're going to draw that pretty large on your paper and then hand it in, okay? So hopefully you're ready. If you need a ruler, she does use a ruler in here. I would highly suggest that you grab one. If you don't have a ruler, one of the ways that you can do is find yourself some lined paper, okay? And I would do maybe I would say maybe every 3 or every 2 lines, put a mark and call it an inch, okay? So here we go. Let's get going. All right, so you're going to notice that she is drawing a straight line, okay? And she's just marking it off. I believe she's marking off 8 spots. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8. And by the way, if you need to ever pause the video because she's going too fast or I'm talking too fast, do it. All right. So when you create a body, all right, typically, not always, it's 8 heads high. Okay. Now that does change depending on how old you are. Younger people actually have different sizes, but a typical adult is about 8 feet high, 8 heads high. Now, I would highly suggest that you pause and put all of these pointers in, and that bottom does say foot, not F-U-T. Now she's drawing the head. I'm actually going to pause right here for a second. You're going to notice the way she's drawn the head. It's a circle, and then it has an oval at the end. A head is the shape of an egg. Okay, so let's continue on. The width of, now the reason why it looks like it changed is because shoulders don't go straight. They actually curve down a little bit. And if you can imagine 2 heads next to each other, that's how wide. She drew the rib cages, all right? And imagine that if you've ever seen a skeleton, you always know that the spine is separated a little bit between, so there's an actual separate spine. The circle in the center is for the hips and I guess the belly. I'm going to go back just a teeny bit, okay? And I'm going to pause right here. So what's going on here is she's putting in the joints, okay, as circles. So how she did that is she put it on the edge. I don't know if you guys know, but each point that we rotate, okay, are actually they're balls, so they're able to move around. So what she did was she put a circle, she curved it down, but notice how she's curving it in. That's a good point to do, okay? It helps create almost like an idea of a muscle there, okay? The kneecaps curved right into the ankles. Now, you probably noticed that the way that the ankles are, okay, the bottom is where the ankles are and the feet kind of extend a little longer. Okay, let's continue. Same kind of deal, straight with a circle, okay? Now, your hands are actually quite long. They do go to the edge of your thighs, okay? Fun fact, the width of your arms is how tall you are. Okay. Now, I believe this is where she turns into a marker. If you wanted to, you could take the marker and you can go around. Now, she's going to be creating a guy in here, but you can definitely create it to be a girl. Okay. The obvious feature that would be a little different is the chest area. Okay. Pretty much that's it. All right. one thing I want you to take note, okay? Oh, let's move back, okay? A little bit more. Not too far. There we go. Okay. If you notice the way she's created her legs, they're a little thicker and then they taper in. And they're a little bit thicker and they taper in. The way muscles are, there's a lot bigger muscle up top and then it tapers in. Okay. So that's how you want to create your legs too. Not all, one. And by the way, feet, it's okay. Do the best you can. If you want to just stick shoes on them, all right. Beautiful. Same thing with the arms. A little wider at the top, a little skinnier at the bottom. All right. So here, what you would probably do is if you were drawing like a regular figure and had clothes on it, okay, you'd probably sketch out everything that you have in the inside. All right. Then you would probably sketch out lightly, possibly the outside. Then put on the clothes, okay? Obviously, we don't walk around like this, okay? When you do draw people, you don't want the inside structure to be. That's why I'm kind of asking you to draw lightly so you can erase it later. Now, check this one out. So this one, she's clearly looking at a reference, okay? And what she's doing is she's going to be drawing a woman who's seated, all right? Now, what I'm going to suggest is when you look at the reference, you look at some cross points. Where are some of the body's parts being connected with others, okay? Now here you can see that she's seated, and certain body parts aren't always a certain length, okay? So this leg is coming out, and it does seem shorter, but if they were looking at the reference, you'd be able to kind of take, measure and say, how long is this compared to something else? Now, in regards to her hand, you'll notice that where things are, so there's a connection point on her leg, okay? So that's what you would need to do. Make a connection. Take those, watch those angles, and then kind of put them there. Now, you don't necessarily need to put the hair in, right up close. You'll also notice that she didn't put the actual rib cage in, okay? At points, you will get used to how large certain things are, okay? Notice the connection point. If she's looking at that reference and the arm is connected to the leg, that's where you should draw it too. Now, hold on, I want to pause right there. Because you probably noticed that she did not, like this right here, she did not draw the line right up against that hip area. She gave a little bit of room. Now, all of this room that she's giving is the muscle, it's any fat, okay? If a person has some weight to them, you need to accommodate. You need to draw it there. So that's what she's doing. That derriere probably has a good cushion to it, okay? So what she's doing is she's giving a little extra there, right? Now, if you were drawing clothes, you could, kind of do this. Create the clothing, even though the whole body hasn't been drawn. Notice how some of her lines, they're used as guidelines. Not everything is perfectly within the drawing, which is fine. What a lovely dress. Beautiful. Up. Let me go back to the end. Okay. Actually, stop for a second. Stop here, and let's go back to here. Okay, where she kind of finishes up. All right. So let's kind of go over recap. 10 heads high. Okay. You sketch lightly through the whole thing. Notice that they kind of put the line. Oh, so this is almost like the spine that goes right through it. Okay. It kind of gives us guidelines. Your fingers go to the edge of your hips, okay, of your thighs, excuse me, when you're standing. All right. You'll notice that the joints, your elbows, are kind of in line with your, I want to say it's your belly button, okay? So if you're ever wondering, like, where do I put the elbows? That's where it is, all right? Shoulders, they do not come out and down, okay? They actually taper down. Some people ask, well, how do I know where to put the head? All right, if you can imagine like a line going from the ears, softly coming down your head and then coming out, that's what you're looking for as well.